Part 2 because the video got too long. Okay. Yeah, it stops it when it gets too long for it. Anyways, so now you want to add undermarkings because I don't know where it stopped, but undermarkings. Usually a character will look pretty empty without them, like right here. See, it just kind of looks empty. Yep, that's like the only word for that. Just empty. So I would just go with random things you've seen on like dogs and stuff. It doesn't need to be absolutely like perfectly realistic. Obviously, it's. I mean, unless that's what you're going for, but honestly, if you're going for like a realistic one, I don't know. My undermarkings are usually close to the base color because I don't want them to like overpower it, but because they're not the main thing. They're just small details that kind of just bring it together, if that makes sense. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you're like making an extremely natural one that just looks like a normal dog, that doesn't seem very... Like, you could just make a dog. So, yeah. I mean, obviously there's like cool, like creative twists on natural looking designs, but when it gets like too realistic, it just kind of looks weird. Not so much that it looks weird as much as it seems just weird. Well, I mean, like I said, doesn't look weird, but the idea of you just essentially selling a perfectly normal, natural dog character that doesn't have anything beyond the design is just odd. Oh, but you do you, I guess. Anywho's it. So, yeah, undermarkings. Keep those. Now, main thing that I did this for, green. That green looks like it's going to end up extremely out of place. But I'm going to try it, I guess. So usually when I do an unnatural marking on like a otherwise natural character, I kind of do like unnatural markings. No, wait. Okay, unnatural colors on an otherwise naturally colored character. So I would use more unnatural markings to kind of fit with that. But see, this green, I don't think it really fits well with the character itself. Just because of, I guess, the saturation and how dark it is. They don't seem to look very good together. Wait, I think that's... Anyways. So I usually prefer to go with like light greens for this. For characters like these. With their browns and stuff. Oh, that's too light. Yep, sometimes I do that. And it ends up like being too close to the original, appearance. Wrong word. Okay. Original, like base color. Your base color. Sorry, sometimes I forget how to English. English is my first language. I'm just really, really weird. Anyways, hard for me to talk while drawing. I'm not good at that. I don't usually do it. But, see, something like that. So I guess you would want to just like play around with that. Add little touch-ups to markings you've previously made. Like, fill them in. Just add to it, I'm just kind of doing whatever comes to mind. And if it doesn't look good, I'm just going to get rid of it. But if it looks good, great. Usually that's how I operate. I just kind of do whatever I think will go well. You just kind of like gotta take that. You just go ahead and do it, and if it looks good, good. If it doesn't, okay. I mean, like, it's not a loss if you can undo it. Even then, it's fairly easy to edit out, usually. I don't know. Maybe that would be a little harder. Or that. Maybe. But usually it should just be pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and add a nose marking up here because I don't want the face to seem empty. I know with the under markings it was kind of less empty, but it always helps to have like an extra little marking on the face, like a darker one, to kind of, you know, give it a little extra touch up like the body has. Since it's usually, for me, what mainly makes the design, rather than the under markings, which just kind of like add on to it. So yeah, you kind of want to have some of that on the face, I guess. And yet, my faces don't usually end up being very, you know, detailed. I mean, like, look at that. It's got like a couple markings and that's it. Oof. I'm just kind of like trashing on my own designs here. Anyways, so I guess this is like a fairly finished one. Usually I would have done more, like, fill up this area. Wait, you can't see what I'm like gesturing with my hands, so let me just... This area? I would kind of just like add something along this general giant flat color area. I don't know, the face is pretty... I would put something over here. But the face is pretty good already, I guess. That's usually why I don't fill it up, because it's not much to fill up. But yeah, I would have put something here. So what you would do for that is, I guess, just kind of extend the marking. Like, you get what I'm trying to point out here. Like, just make the marking generally less small. See, that marking only goes somewhat along the back. It's not like a full little coat thing there. But I would want to, yeah. If I had actually spent more time on this, like messing with it and seeing what I could do, rather than worrying about when this video is going to cut off, I would have probably just, you know, gone for that. I usually cut it off here because it doesn't really look good, usually, if you go up into here. But it can sometimes. All depends on the kind of design you're going for, like what the theme is, what the idea is. I don't usually create palettes beforehand because of things like this. You don't always know if they're going to look great in the design together beforehand, and then you mess up, and then you feel limited by the colors you have. I don't like palettes. I mean, I like getting ideas from them sometimes, so sometimes I'll use them to just mess around and see what I can do. But, yeah, most of the time I don't. Nope. I guess that's all. What I would do if you are brainstorming palettes is just kind of try and come up with some colors that you think would go together. I do not recommend any kind of like overly bright colors unless that's the theme, and even then I would desaturate it a little. I try not to keep my like saturation above 70% because I don't want it to like burn your eyes. So yeah, like something like that, see? Whereas 100% is just, I mean, they don't look that different side by side, I guess. But when you're actually, like, coloring a character, it does look kind of weird when you've got, like, that bright, burning red across it. It looks a lot better when it's, like, 70. See? That doesn't look so terrible. I mean, obviously, with the character, it looks kind of weird, but, you know. But, so, yeah, that's the basic idea. Just don't overdo it. Try to come up with characters that are... I don't know, you want to go with kind of, from what I know, I don't know if I'm doing this perfectly, so we're just going to, like, use this as an example. But I would kind of go with, like, this, and then this for accents on a color wheel, if you know what I'm even talking about. Sorry, I don't really come off, I don't talk easily. But, so yeah, I would go with, like, some similar colors, a lot of similar colors, kind of like that. See, I've got the lots of browns, and then I've got the little bit of green, just because I think that green goes well with brown. But mostly browns to actually go together and not go all over the place. I mean, like, rainbows are great, Rainbows are awesome, actually, but I wouldn't put them all... I wouldn't make the entire character a rainbow, because sometimes that can look really, really, really wild. Especially when you've got, like, red and blue and yellow over here, and then you've got your actual, like, somewhat matching colors over here, and it's like, they don't go together. Oh, you couldn't see where I was gesturing. When I said, like, red and blue, I meant, like, over here. And then when I said matching colors, I meant, like, over here. So, like, you want it to kind of match. Which is why I don't choose to do rainbows for, like, the entire character's palette, because, you know, that's how it's going to end up. You're going to have a ton of mismatched colors over what's-his-face, and then matching paws, but, oh, yeah, the butt's freaking rainbow. A weird, out-of-order rainbow. That's how it ends up being, an out-of-order rainbow. You don't like out-of-order rainbows. Sometimes they look good. Not always. But, so, yeah, just kind of, like, choose various matching colors, and then it's kind of like an accent. And then accent the markings with, obviously, the accent. The eyes can also be the accent, but I usually go with, like, for this character, I would probably go with, like, orange, just because I feel like that might look good. But always, like, test it out before finalizing it, because you don't really know how it's going to turn out. And sorry for, like, the bright, blinding orange. I don't usually use that orange. I was just trying to make an example. It didn't undo. Okay, see. Something like that. See, that doesn't look terrible. I kind of like that. I might actually put this up as an adopt, so that's great. But so yeah, you get the general idea. I guess for now, that's all my tips on character designs. I will try to make an actual guide later, like a visual guide, and not so much whatever this is. But for now, this is all I got. Alright. Later, I hope this helps in some way. Sorry for being hard to understand. Bye!